Start is like fine, just to absorb a hit here, I guess, from Pedro. But if we are going to retreat to like Clef for turn 1, then opening the Manaphy obviously isn't great. Then we have like a dead card on our bench, but it probably doesn't matter too much in this matchup, to be honest, to have like a dead bench card like Manaphy. That's ball here from Javier. I assume he's just going to probably get Greninja. We'll see, though. Taking a look through. And like, yeah, when we look at the prize here, there's nothing like too consequential prize here, I don't think. I remember. Let's go for the Greninja. And has a Vessel. What do you get rid of, though? Dark Patch? Probably. Yep, goes to the Dark Patch, get rid of. I don't know what else is in the hand. There's like a Moon, an Explorer. I think everything else is like another Dark Patch and a Prime Catcher. I think everything else is like necessary to keep here. This is a good matchup. It's close. I think Charizard's favored. Charizard's definitely favored, though. All right, the concealed cards are coming in. Looking for some more basics, ideally. Another Moon, not bad. Throws down 1, attach. Maybe don't throw down the other one because it could get Gust trapped. So you probably just don't want to bench it just in case. So I like that Moon hold here from... You could also Dark Patch to it, I guess. You could have 1 on each Moon. That would have been fine, I guess. All right, over to Pedro. Here comes a Nest Ball. Gonna try and find a couple Charmanders. And then... wouldn't mind getting a Bidoof in play. And a Pidgey, but the Bidoof is prize. So unless Pedro's playing like... it could be... Honestly, I don't know for sure. I mean, it could be Bibzard. Here from Pedro. It probably is Pidgerzard with a bib. The angle switch up here with the camera. We're back. Yeah, it probably is Pidgerzard with a bib, though. It's probably what we got going on here for Pedro. I can't see anything that's going on in the deck. Towards Zard. Yeah. We could one thing we could do, we could time people on their first searches and see how long they take. What do you want? Issue Sosa's AzulGG deck. Take out 1 area and put in a second TM Devolution. No clue. I haven't seen the list. It's probably not very good, though. It's going to be the Rotom off the Nest. And then it looks like is lining up a Poffin and the Forest Sealstone. So I assume has an Arvin. I think I see a Pidgey in the hand as well. So decent start here for Pedro. Decent start. I know Tor did great with the deck, but a mix of Pidgey and Bibs appeared in a few City Leagues before UIC. Yeah. But as always, it's going to be the person who does best with the deck initially who gets all the... And like this sounds like a negative thing, but who gets all the credit, which I think is like fine. It's not, you know, I mean, proving the idea is good is definitely different than just... Yeah, proving the idea is good is definitely different than... I don't know, coming up with the idea. Because like it's not just about like the idea is one thing, but then refining the idea is like another. Stuff like that. So double Pidgey here from Pedro. Doesn't want to have the one getting boss KO'd or Prime Catcher KO'd. And then he's going to follow this up with that Insta Charge for 3. I thought I saw a Pidgey in hand. There's definitely a Pidgeot in hand, but... So, like, I don't mind... Also, like, you never, like... I mean, Tor could have had the idea at the same time people... Like, that's the thing is, like, you never know who came up with what first. So, proving something is good definitely has value on top of simply doing it, to be honest. Like, proving something is good has value on top of potentially being the first person to have come up with an idea. The thing is, you never know who first came up with anything, though. So, you can't ever really know. All right, concealed cards into the Explorer. Has his first attack coming in here from Javier. Looking for more basics here. There's an Artisan and a Nest Ball. I like both of those takes. I was thinking about the Ultra Ball, though, instead. That would lead to a Dedun, but this hand, I guess you could Ultra Ball away 2 Ancient Things for a Dedun. Yeah, I don't mind a Dedun draw here, actually, to be honest. The rest of the cards, the Penny, the Counter Catcher, and an Explorer, not that great. You want to find some Sadas as soon as possible, so I don't mind those discards here. Here comes an Artisan. I don't want to see the Artisan get used yet, though. I want to see the Artisan get used after drawing with the Dunsparce, to be honest. Because you do want to draw into basics here, as Javier. You wouldn't mind drawing into that Dunsparce off of the Dundra. Unless you're not going to use the Dunsparce here as Javier, potentially. You maybe don't use the Dunsparce. But I think I want to see the Dunsparce get used here. But I would rather see it get used first. Yeah, here comes the Ultra Ball. I assume for the Dunsparce. There it is. But it would have been nice to draw into the Dunsparce, off the Dunsparce, and then Artisan for a Dunsparce that you just put back in the deck with your Dunsparce. But now, you can't do that. Or you decrease your odds of getting 2 Dunsparce in play. But 2 Dunsparce is better than 1 in this situation. You're not trying to maximize. I mean, you do want to draw Sada, but I don't think you mind increasing your odds of trying to Dunsparce as well. There's a Sada, pretty good. Also drew into a Nest Ball. So could go get another Dunsparce, but might save it to be able to find like a big Roaring Moon on the next turn. Oh, but going right back into the Nest Ball. So I assume this is going to be for a Dunsparce. Yep. The thing with this, though, I don't know if I like that Nest Ball use there. Because you do want out to a Roaring Moon next turn, I feel like, from Javier here. You want to be able to one-hit KO a Charizard next turn with a Roaring Moon EX. It's going to be a lot harder to do that. Oh, actually, there might be a Roaring Moon EX in the hand, actually. Here comes a Dark Patch. Oh, does have to use this Dark Patch as well. There's no Dark Energy in hand. That's actually unfortunate. So we definitely did want to use the Dunsparce there from Javier then. It's just kind of unfortunate that there's no actually... Yeah, it's unfortunate for Javier to not have a Dark Patch in hand for the next turn. Or not have a Dark Energy, so we could have saved the Dark Patch is what I should say. All right, Rotom push up here from Pedro. That's kind of a sign that Pedro might not have a follow-up here. And is trying to tank a hit. It's a really big hand to not have a follow-up, though. The Force Seal Stone is used here from Pedro. It's not flipped, but it was used. Wait, I'm not trolling, right? Didn't Pedro use the Force Seal Stone? I'm almost positive Pedro used Force Seal Stone, but didn't flip it. How about is nobody playing Poffins and Moonsparce? Because finding Moons is like just as important, if not more important, than finding Dunsparces. That's basically it. I could see playing like a count of it, but all right, Devo and Candy. Oh, there's a Charizard and there's a Pidgeot. We have Candyzard, Candy, Pidgey here actually from. The problem here though from Pedro is there's 2 Candy prized. He's gonna draw into one of the Candy though. I guess they are the bottom 2 prize cards. So getting a follow-up Charizard if it gets KO'd by Roaring Moon EX, I guess could be a little bit annoying, but should be no problem here from Pedro actually. There's another Candy. Here comes Candy Charizard. And ideally wants Charmeleon evolve as well, which Pedro might actually have. Yeah, there's an Ultra Ball. So we got the Charmeleon evolve here as well for Pedro. So pretty good follow-up here from Pedro for sure. Did you get rid of the Poffin, which could have found another Charmander? So I'm curious to know what the rest of the hand was to have not kept that Poffin to get another Charmander. And he's already going to accelerate 3. Pedro must have top decked one of the pieces then, right? Because Pedro had initially pushed up Rotom when you could have pushed up Pidgey. Oh, we have the Artisan, of course, yeah. Yeah, Pedro must have top decked a piece there to get off the Candy Charizard combo. Because previously, Pedro pushed up Rotom, which all that does is burn an energy from Pedro now. So must have top decked one of the pieces. I don't know which piece was top decked, but top decked something here. The Charmeleon, then we got the retreat attack. So yeah, it looked like initially we're trying to absorb a hit from the moon. But now really set up here for Pedro, just missing the B-Barrel, which is prized. There's one of the candies off the prize cards. Not as consequential because we did get the Charmeleon this turn. Over to Javier, looking for the attack. I do see the moon in hand. Could just kind of go for it here. Is missing a Dark Patch, though. So do you just go with a Baby Moon hit this turn? That's what Javier has to decide here. Is do I just go for the Baby Moon hit on the active and go for the 2-hit KO, but then get punished by Turo, collapsed. Those are annoying to deal with. You don't want to get Turoed or collapsed here. You want to stay on pace for the prize trade here as Javier. So you kind of want to just go for the Moon knockout, to be honest. I think Javier should just throw down the Moon EX and go for it. Is it an EX? It is an EX. All right. Gonna go for the Sada route, though. If there's enough ancient cards in the discard pile, did draw into the Dark Patch and the Dark Energy, so would have had it. Would have had it. And I like the idea of just going for it right there, I think. Because if you're just punching the active... Now, you do have Prime Catcher here, so you could just Prime Catcher KO a 1 prize off the bench, I guess. Oh, wait. Do we not have energy to attack here? No, there's another energy in hand. Okay. Another Dunsparce to the bench. Waiting on the Duns. We're missing the Dunsparces here. Has the Prime Catcher. There it is. Goes after the Charmeleon. Makes sense. Has the attachment in hand. Holds the Dark Patch for next turn. And I don't believe could have KO'd Rotom. If you could have KO'd Rotom there, going for the Rotom KO makes a little bit more sense, I think. But I don't think there probably was not 12 in the discard pile there for ancient cards at all. Back over to Pedro. Can push up the Pidgeot. A play here that Pedro can actually go for is to try and attack with Radzard twice. But you maybe just put it on Javier to have the Roaring Moon EX knockout on your Charizard. You could go like Candyzard. You could go like Radzard, Candyzard, attack with Radzard here. Into Radzard gets KO'd, you recover it. No, I guess you don't have another Charizard to accelerate energy again. So I guess here's Pedro, you always go with Charizard into Radzard, I guess. Yeah, that's probably the play here. There was also the Roxanne in here, in the hand here for Pedro, so would have been able to respond to a Roaring Moon EX with a Roxanne, which would have been pretty good. Here comes the Artisan use. One more Charmander to be found. This does bench lock Pedro, but that does work for Collapse, I guess. Collapse away your Rotom, so there's not an easier 2-prize knockout for like a Baby Moon later, potentially. Here comes the Quick Search. Ooh, plays the Mist Energy. All right. This is actually going to be pretty devastating here for Javier, I feel like. The Mist Energy is going to be tough to get over. How do you even tackle this from here as Javier? Maybe Javier plays the Sinnoh. Javier could play the Sinnoh. But there's the Mist for the Charizard EX, which means the Charizard EX cannot KO this. The Rotom is still in play, though, as like an easy 2 prizes for a Baby Moon to go after, to be honest. We are getting to the point here. The Baby Moons are almost in range to probably KO this Rotom. We're getting close. We're definitely getting close here. So it's possible that Javier can just actually go Prime Catcher KO, the, or I guess we don't have Prime Catcher anymore. Oof. Sheesh, how would we actually... We can't boss this turn either, probably. You can't Moon it. Well, unless you play the Sinnoh. I don't know if Javier plays the Sinnoh, though. That's the question now. How do you go from here as Javier? Do you just go with more Baby Moons into the active? Then maybe you play for the boss on the Rotom on the next turn? You could just bench a Baby Moon and set up 2 more Baby Moons and punch the active Charizard. I don't hate that. We're low on Gust Effects over here from Javier. The Prime Catcher's gone. And, see, that's why I hold it. Ooh, there's some duns. That's why it would have been nice to have the Prime Catcher for later here, to be honest, from Javier, and not use it on that previous turn instead of gotten the Moon EX KO. Gives us so much more control. Oh, oh, are we counting up there with the 9 there? So there's 9 in the discard now. Here's the discard, or the Retreat Punch. And then we should probably just evolve to 2 Duns here. Well, you could like use 1 to Dunsparce, and then Artisan it the Dunsparce back into play, to be honest. I wouldn't hate to see that, I guess. But maybe just having 2 to Duns in play is better. There we go, just a punch. Does set up a 2-hit KO. Now the question is, how do you tackle this as Pedro? Collapse and Turo are options from Pedro here. Could also just let the Charizard go down. That doesn't seem great, though. Eyeing up the A-Spec. Is that the Cape? Pedro is playing the Cape. Okay, so is playing the Cape. So we got 160 damage on the active here. But if you take out the active here as Pedro... But Pedro could go Cape Boss here and ignore... Pedro could go Cape Boss KO to Dunsparce here. Actually, I kind of like that, maybe. Don't put any more Ancient cards in the discard pile. And then, Javier would need a ton to get through this Cape here. Oh, goes for the Turo on the Rotom instead? That's still decent. Yeah, because I don't think, even if you're knocking out the active and putting 2 more Ancient cards in the discard pile, I think it's still going to be hard for Javier to get over this Cape here. The Cape's pretty big here. Pedro's thinking, I mean, there's nothing else to do here. You definitely don't not take the knockout. Oh, the Collapse was prized here from Pedro the whole time as well. Does get that Bidoof off the discard pile. Okay, for Javier, what are we looking at here? I mean, I think it's got to be a Moon EX, right? Doing a quick Ancient count. There's a lot of Ancients in there, actually. Oh, we're at 11 the whole time. 18. 16. I still don't think we're getting there. We might be able to, though. What are we at, 430? No, we're probably not getting to 430. Are we? Probably not. Probably not. Yeah, Pedro already used the V-Star, just didn't flip the V-Star marker. And even the... Wait, unless I'm miscounting. Yeah, even with... the Calamity Storm doesn't actually KO the Charizard here either. This is definitely awkward here for Javier. Man, I don't even know what the play. This play, there's no play. I think there's no play here. I think we this is almost pick it up and go to game 2. The Cape putting the Charizard out of range, as well as the Turo, like, puts everything out of range. Grabs a Sada. That's not enough, though. That's not enough. I feel like that Sada almost needed to be discarded so then you could play Explorer and then discard a bunch more. I don't know. It feels like you need the KO with the baby moon here. I'm curious as to what Javier's going to be looking for here, though. Yeah, what could you even find here that would give you a chance? This is why you have to take the Rotom KO when it's available. Yeah, but Javier, I mean, I'm not sure if you're saying Javier could have, because I don't think Javier ever could have KO'd the Rotom. There's the boss. But my assumption is that's the last gust effect here for Javier. You boss KO one prize or you just get Radzarded, right? Well, no, actually, in the current situation, you don't definitely get Radzarded, I guess. Oh, but it doesn't really matter for the prize trade, does it? It could matter, though, I guess. Depends what Pedro has in hand. But if Pedro can just set up a fresh... Man, the Cape and the Mist are really throwing things off here for Javier. Like, too much. There's too much. It's too much HP. Can't Frenzy Gouging it. Can't Calamity Storm it. It's 2 Moon and a Dark. Hasn't used Artisan yet. But once again, I don't know where this leads. I don't know where we're going with this. Now we're doing less damage. Maybe we 3-hit KO the Charizard and then boss KO the Pidgeot? Is that the play? Maybe. I can see it, I guess. More to Duns on the way. Could have probably... Well, maybe you could save the Artisan, actually, to try and get another Dunsparce. So you could try and get a Moon and a Dunsparce here. There's an S-Ball. I assume it's going to get a Moon. Then we can Artisan for another Moon or a Dunsparce. There comes the Artisan. Yeah, so Javier trying to maximize the out to basics. Good sequencing. There's the Dunsparce. So we are just 3-hit KOing the active. And then, so the play here from Javier is 3-hit KO the active and then boss KO the Pidgeot. But on this next turn... Pedro's just going to retreat this active Charizard and candy a fresh Charizard into play and then knock out the Moon with a fresh Charizard. Wait, has Javier played a supporter? We're not bossing this turn, right? No. Yeah, Javier hasn't played a supporter yet, right? We are bossing. How many Gust Effects does Javier have left? We've used the Counter Catcher, the Boss, and the Prime Catcher. I don't think Javier has a Gust Effect left. Or most lists don't play more than that. If Javier's out of Gust Effects, I feel like this game is over. If Javier has one more Gust Effect left, this is winnable. I thought we were just going to see Javier punch the active here. And then try and... I mean, this is a bad situation. I don't know. The Moon could benefit from DM Devo. I mean, theoretically, anything could benefit from DM Devo, but... Pad Boss... If he plays boss, most people don't play, or excuse me, if he plays pad, most people don't play the pal pad though. It's usually just like one boss, one counter catcher, one prime catcher. It's usually all you play for gust effects, and all those are gone now. Honestly, I think Javier, well, we'll see. Maybe Javier plays something that a little bit out of the norm, but my guess is going to be Javier doesn't, and Javier probably should just concede this game to conserve time. We'll see though. Pedro here, I'm assuming is going to be setting up for a different Charizard. I mean, honestly, if maybe Javier does play Devo. So if we do see Rare Candy Charizard here from Pedro and then attack with a fresh Charizard, oh, it's going to be an Eerie. Dark Patch Super Rod. I mean, yeah, not too many choices there. It's just the Dark Patch and the Super Rod. There's the Moon, the Sada. I assume we're still going to see a fresh Candy Charizard here. And has a fresh Candy Charizard. Okay. Here we go. Charizard's going to get loaded up. Candy second Pidgeot. I mean, if there was ever a time to use TM Devo, this is it. This is the time. There's the knockout. 2 prize cards left here for Pedro. Javier cannot attack with a Roaring Moon EX at this point. Does have the Roaring Moon. And there's a concede. Okay. That's what I like to say. I think once all the Gust effects were gone... I mean, okay. I guess from Javier's perspective, you shouldn't concede quite yet. You should concede as soon as Pedro has the second candy Charizard. With how big Pedro's hand was, you can kind of just assume that Pedro has it. But it's probably correct for Javier to stick it out until you see the next Charizard hit the field. Because if Pedro does have to attack with the damaged Charizard, then there is hope for Javier, to be honest. So, all right. Should be seeing Javier. Honestly, this matchup, I'm not sure if you want to go first or second. It's close because the Charizard player sets up so much smoother when they get to go second. And we even saw that in this game from Pedro, being able to use that Arven turn 1. And the Arven became Poffin plus 4 Seal Stone. The 4 Seal Stone became second Poffin. Like, if Pedro goes first, it's Nest Ball for a Charmander and pass. Oh, that's true. In that situation, the Devo doesn't work on the Mist Energy Charizard. We would need Sinnoh plus Devo. And you get to get off that turn 1 attack potentially. You have the turn 1 attack potential as Javier. Javier did choose first in that first game. Actually, I don't know. Pedro maybe chose second, actually. I don't know who won the coin flip. I don't know if anyone in chat caught it. But I guess this matchup will tell us, or this game will tell us for sure what Javier thinks about the matchup. Team Devo prize again for Pedro, which is a good thing. Counter catcher prize is kind of unfortunate. Not like super unfortunate, but like you'd like to have the access to it. I assume Pedro probably only actually Pedro might play double counter catcher because it does play the cape, so maybe he plays 2 counter catcher. And this is the problem with the Moon deck, man. We see the Greninja's prize, so it's not even out to draw power. Javier does choose second. The hand is not equipped at all to get anything cooking. But this is what I was talking about here. Going second. Look at Pedro's start here. Is it just going to be Manaphy Bidoof pass? Unfortunately for Javier, does not have an aggressive start to take advantage of that, though. Oh, it's all in on this trekking shoes. It's another trekking shoes. I don't think we're going to see a turn 1 attack here from Javier, even if this gets into the 4th ancient capsule is found. There's a vessel. Oh. All right. Ooh, not even going to use the vessel. I would like to see the vessel get played here from Javier to discard a dark energy. Because you could Iono down and then draw into like Sada. Yeah, I don't like that choice there from Javier. Should have gone vessel away and energy. Just get it in the discard pile just in case you... Also, now if you top deck Sada, you don't have a way to play Sada here as Javier as well. That's a pretty big sequencing mistake there from Javier. Definitely should have played vessel. Discard a dark. Get 2 dark. Attach a dark. Increases your odds of top decking a draw card. Increase your odds of top decking a draw card because you take 2 energy out of your deck. Also, you end up with the dark energy in the discard pile. So now if you top deck Sada, you can play it. Or if you get Ionoed into Sada, you can play it. I mean, pretty bad spot no matter what here from Javier. Not feeling good about this one. Definitely not feeling good about this one. But still a sequencing error there on that last turn. Let's see what Pedro grabs here. Is going with the Arven. So Poffin should be on the way here for Pedro for sure. And if 4 Seal Stones in the deck, I'm assuming that would probably also be grabbed in case he eventually runs into... It does have Luminion in hand, so that would combo with the 4 Seal Stone right now. I see Eerie in hand. I see Rare Candy in hand. I see Pidgeot or a Charizard. I think it's a Pidgeot. It was really close to just Candy Zard. Poffin Forest is probably going to grab Pidgey Charmander. Could even put the Luminion down and then use the 4 Seal Stone to get another Poffin, I guess. Or just to get a basic itself, I guess, keep the Poffin in the deck. The thing right here is I don't think Pedro has access to double Charmander without using the 4 Seal Stone. So you could use Luminion for that. And it looks like is lining up the Ember Charmander first. So values that one the least as an attacker in this matchup, it looks like. I mean, none of them are really good attackers at all, to be honest, but values the Ember one the least. Yeah, because otherwise, like, Javier could just have, like, attach Boss KO, Lone Charmander, or Prime Catcher, or whatever. So you do want a second Charmander here. The question is, do you want to put Luminion in play to get there? That seems like Pedro's only way to get there is that Luminion Forest. I think Pedro's going to do it. Better safe than sorry. Thinking about it. And goes for it. Goes for the arm for next turn. He's not going to go back into the deck with the 4 Seal Stone, though? Maybe just forgetting to do it here. We'll see. Oh, has second Charmander in hand. Okay. Makes sense. That definitely works. And retreating to Luminion just to prevent the possibility of getting a knockout in general. All right, yeah, I don't hate that from Pedro. Especially with how slow of a start Javier had, you're not even worried about like the Roaring Moon EX getting a KO. Another Vessel top deck here from Javier. And we could see the game be over on the next turn with Pedro going Candy, Charizard, Vacuum. It's not in hand right now, but we're pretty close to it here. We're pretty close to it here. There's the attach. Punch on the Luminion. For what? About 100 damage? Because Pedro definitely has Candy Charizard in hand, I think, here from Pedro. Do we also have the Vacuum? I mean, it's not like pressing here for Pedro to win the game, but better to win than not, I guess. Marvin coming out. Eyeing up the Vacuum. So I assume that means that we have game in hand here from Pedro. Maybe not, though? Goes Devo Ultra Ball. I think has the punch with the Charizard. But doesn't have the Vacuum. So I think it has like Candy Pidgeot, Candy Charizard. Candy Charizard, here comes the acceleration. We'll have to find the Vacuum next turn, maybe. I mean, Javier's just conceding, but... Oh, Force Heal Stone for the Vacuum. Okay, that works. There is the game there. I was like, I don't think we had it. I forgot about the Force Heal Stone. All right, here we go. The Snorlax start. So could get off a turn 2 attack with the Snorlax. Oh, well... That's definitely what they're playing for, is a turn 2 attack with Snorlax here. Attach, pass. They definitely would have attached a double turbo if they had that instead. Eerie? No hits? Is it Eerie pass? Because honestly, then you could just go... You could go Jacques for 2 Archeops, attach pass. But we'll see if there's any charm, if there's any threat here. Is it no threat? Oh, there's a Poffin. So there is the threat of Candyzard next turn. So you kind of have to play the research now. Yeah, this is a really slow start. This is not looking good for the Lugia player. Ooh, they even have the Cleffa attack too. Yeah, you definitely have to play more aggressive now. Yeah, you definitely need to play more aggressive for sure. We'll see. So it is probably just going to be... And you have to discard 3 energy out of the hand as well if you want to go for the Snorlax KO. But I think you do want to go for the Snorlax KO. Eerie turn 1 when his opponent's passed. I don't think he had a different supporter, Peter. I don't think he had a choice. I think it was Eerie or nothing. Well, you guys are acting like he had a different supporter in hand. It's still bad, bro. No, you could... Lugia holding off on playing an Ultra Ball is, like, not uncommon. Well, I guess he wouldn't do that in the case that... I guess the thing would just be... you would have definitely got a Lugia V if you could have, right? Yeah, you would have got a Lugia. That's true. What else? Maybe you should just hold the Eerie. Oh, we don't even have to retreat into the Cleffa. Another energy top deck. Wait, okay. Do you maybe just play it slow here? Honestly, because of like the just the pass, maybe you play like they don't have 4 energy. Biting the dust is a lot. I honestly don't hate the Jack. I don't hate Jack for 2 Archeops attach active pass. I mean, like, I don't think you have Candy Charizard. All right, Ultra Ball into an Archeops. Here comes another Ultra Ball. Getting rid of the Archeops and gotta get rid of the boss, right? Get rid of the boss. That will get us a Lugia V here, but they only have 2 cards left in hand. I don't think they're very good. This guy got Cleffa without the ability to use it. I mean, he probably got Cleffa because if the active gets knocked out, then he can set up Cleffa and draw cards. Because I think his hand is literally just dead. Has Luminion in hand? Oh, okay, that's not bad. Dude, 5. Oh, we got the Jet up. And pass. Okay, I don't hate that. Saving the Snorlax. Is that correct, though? Maybe. Another Charmander. Yeah, they got the Cleffa, so it's like, I hope you knock out my active so I can push up Cleffa and draw cards. It's not a terrible play. It's fine, probably, it's probably correct, to be honest. All right, pass. So Charizard's dead drawing. Research top deck. That's really good. So it does play 2 Luminion. There's the Master Ball. There's a Minccino. Okay, we're kind of cooking now. We are down a lot of energy. Double Minccino. Love to see it. I believe I saw a Master. There's an Ace Spec in the hand. Oh, it is Master Ball. It is Master Ball. Here comes a Lugia V-Star. Get out the chops. Put a double turbo and something on the active, and then load up some energy on your... Because there's the possibility of like Candy Charizard, Counter Catcher KO chops next turn. There's a lot of energy gone here, though. There's a lot. Ooh, 4. Definitely need to burn some of these double turbos. What if we need to put a double turbo on the active? That's what I mean to say. We're maybe looking at only one hit KO, to be honest. We're maybe only looking at one hit KO. With a Cinccino, excuse me. We do have the Snorlax in play, though, which we will be able to take advantage of as well. So we'll get a double turbo, maybe a gift. You should definitely search out 2 energy here. Okay, they're not going to search out 2 energy. Interesting. So they're going to attach from hand to the Lugia. And then on this one, they're going to search out 2 energy and put it on one of the Mincinos. Honestly, Counter Catcher KO that Minccino is like pretty decent here with how few energy are left here. That's why I kind of want to see like maybe just 2 to the active and 1 on each Minccino instead. All right, there's a knockout. No stadium to bump. Top deck is... It's an Arven. That's Candy Charizard. And they have the Counter Catcher to go after that Minccino. Is there enough energy in the deck for a Cinccino to get a return knockout and then have enough energy to actually win the game? I think you just go after the energy in this situation. And usually you want to go after the Archeops and then you KO the Cinccino later. But I think in this situation, you just go after the energy with how many energy are gone here from Murillo. So Arven can become... You could Arven for Ultra Ball for Luminion for a supporter for next turn. And then attach the 4 Seal Stone for Candy Zard, and then have like a Roxanne in your hand for next turn. So you could like get Roxanne here. Looks like they see the play. That seems like the best play to me. I grab the Devo. Oh wait, they could TM Devo the 2 Archeops back into the hand, and then there's no energy acceleration for the rest of the game. That's actually probably the better play, to be honest. All right, we get the Devo. Ultra Ball away Devo. Plus, what did I say? The Radzard, right? Radzard goes. That's fine. We Ultra Ball for B-Barrel here. I don't know if I like that. You could have done... I think the Luminion line is better. There's a good chance you would just whiff here now. Well, I would commit the Counter Catcher for sure. Counter Catcher goes for the Snorlax. Is that even that good? Dude, why didn't we go for the other play? I feel like the other play was better there. I feel like the play I came up with was definitely better there. Because, like, what does bring up the Snorlax do? Now you just put a double turbo on the Snorlax and the Snorlax swings on you, right? We load up more energy on the Mincinos. This honestly doesn't seem like that good of a play. I like the play where we got Roxanne. If Roxanne's in the deck, if not, we get an Iono, I guess. We candy the Zard, we knock out that Minccino off the bench. We take him out. Put the pressure on the energy. Instead, we go for the Ultra Ball for the B-Barrel, which does get us draw support into play. This is exactly what the Lugia player needs, though, for how much energy they are down at this point. We'll see how it goes. Off return. I couldn't see what it was. Thinking about a chops. We want to load up 2 energy. Discard 1. We're drawing 2 or 3 here. Get the Cinccino. You don't want to evolve to one of the Cincinos unless you're evolving both, though, because you don't want to lose a Cinccino. So ideally, we want to load up 2 energy on the Minccino, 1 double turbo on the Snorlax, and we should be using our Archeops. Like, we should have used... This is, like, really bad sequencing here. I can't think of a reason why you'd ever sequence it this way, to be honest. But we definitely should have, like, used both Archeops before We should have used both Archeops before we used Great Ball or Serena. Like, thin the deck out of the energy first. This is, like, pretty bad sequencing here. Thin the energy out of the deck. We know what energy we want and where we want to possibly put it. We should start to give some love to the other rat here, though. No, we're not going to build up any energy on the other Minccino? Maybe there's not enough energy to do that, though. Well, but then this Minccino can just get KO'd, and then we're going to lose. All right, Pidgey gets sent up here. I assume that means there's Candy Pidgeot in the hand. Once again, down a lot of energy. Down 4 energy, right? Okay, maybe it's not that many. I kind of would have liked to have seen some more energy get built up on that other rat, though. It depends how many energy are left. I feel like there is enough energy left to have built up energy on the other, other rat there. Let's see how things go here. The Pidgey set up here is wild if there's not a Candy Charizard in the hand. Or Candy Pidgeot, excuse me. Okay, Candy. All right, we're there. And there's Charizard in hand. There's a Charmeleon in hand. We're kind of just cooking out here. Hold up. We could even attack with Radzard this turn, I guess. Go Radzard. What are we KOing with Radzard? I mean, you just want to put them on the odd prize card, right? More so than anything. Or do you just go Charizard? Should you just go Charizard? Big Charizard KO Minccino maybe instead? Forgot to get the energy. It's not a big deal, though. Is that Prime Catcher? I can't tell. It is Prime Catcher. Cape would make this game over for sure, I think. I think has a boss in hand. I'm not sure. So can go boss KO Minccino. I assume is the play here. I say going after Archeops at this point doesn't really matter that much. There's not enough energy to like stop them. I don't think there's enough energy that makes it worth it. KOing the active is terrible here, though. We definitely never KO the Snorlax. There's definitely a question of whether or not, yeah. Chase the rat, love it. This is why this is kind of why we want to load up energy on the other rat as well, to be honest. We could just draw into all of our energy here off the gift. Actually, no, there's probably too many cards in the hand. I take it back. But also, we do want to get it. We all wanted to at least attach for turn out of hand. We didn't attach for turn out of hand on this turn. To like the bench Minccino, we want to at least do that. The one without any energy. Start to move energy out of the hand, because there's like 2 or 3 energy in the hand right now. Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's only 5 energy left, actually. There's 4 in the discard pile. Well, 4, or there's 5 or 6. Depending on if they play 16 or 17, which is basically what everyone plays. All right, there's the KO. Gift triggers. I don't know how many they're drawing. Just like 1 or something. All right. I mean, you want to take the 1-hit KO here. And then you need to take a 2-hit KO or 2 one-prize knockouts. There's Iono, so we can put all the energy back in the deck if we have too many in hand now. You should be able to get a KO here, I assume. Not sure if we have it. I think there is a Cinccino in hand, but there's a head, so now we guarantee it. And we'll be able to check the energy. I only see 2 energy in there. Oh, the other rat, there was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, is there just not enough to pull off an attack? There was 2 on the other rat, 7. There was 4 in this pile, 11. There's 5 left. There's 1 prized. 4 left. 4's not enough. All right, it looks like they maybe play the 17, though, actually. There's 2 in the deck still, and a couple in hand. Wait, am I miscounting energy? Maybe I'm miscounting, actually, to be honest. There's an Ultra Ball. Then you have the deck of the Archeops. There's 1 prized. 6 in discard. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 14 in hand. 15, 16, 17. If they only play 16, they're out of energy. Here comes the Iono. Right now they have to draw into an energy, though, to get the knockout. Because they didn't use the other Archeops. Was that a misplay from them to not use the other Archeops first? I think they had 2 energy in the deck, and they had 1 in hand, so they could have got 2 energy out of the deck, attached them to the active, and then attached from hand. So now they're just punching the Charizard, not KOing it. That does not seem like a winning play. I think they lose from this scenario, to be honest. If another Charizard can just be set up, and then like this Charizard gets collapsed or turroed, I think it's just over. Yep, there's a concede. Bro, that early research was brutal. The 4 energy discard was just tough. Yeah, I think that concede is probably a good concede there. Just save time. Did not have enough energy left. That's tough. Honestly, they I don't know. It's just tough, man. I don't know. It's just tough. You always lose to like Turo and Collapse at that point. Once you start going to like once you start looking at 2 KO and Charizards, you just lose to Turo and Collapse and stuff, which wasn't guaranteed to have been had, but was likely. I think the concede's probably a decent concede there. I don't think you're getting through another Charizard, right? That Charizard hits, takes a knockout. You 2-hit KO that Charizard, and then another Charizard comes out and just like goes knockout, knockout. The game's over, right? So good concede, save time. Move on. Try and save time to actually win the match. Too many energy gone too fast. I'm curious as to what the heck they're discussing right now. What are they talking about? It almost seemed like there was like a little bit of back and forth, like a disagreement, but should be good. All right, prize cards. Radzard, 4 Seal Stone's a big one for early game power. And on the other side, yeah, so nothing. 2 Ultra Balls actually being prized. That can definitely hurt the potential of getting the Archeops in the discard pile. I'm honestly not sure about this matchup, but I almost feel like Lugia should just choose second, to be honest. Not even just this matchup, but just in general. Like second against Tina, second against Charizard. Like, look at the hand sucks here without going second. This hand is literally living off of Arven. This happens so much for Charizard, where you're living off of Arven. Like the potential to like play, you're just like so much likely to have a better turn 2. Second versus hands. I guess second versus hands as well, yeah. First versus Chi and Pao, probably, I guess. You probably do want to go first against Chi and Pao. But second against, like, second blind with Lugia, I think is probably correct. Hopefully your opponent has, like, a slower first turn, because they are going first. Which doesn't lead to have a super powerful turn 2, to give you the potential to have a more powerful turn 2 before they've really done anything. Because otherwise it's kind of the other way around, it's kind of flipped. It's like, you go first, you don't really do anything on your turn 2, and then your opponent got 2 turns of supporters to actually have a powerful turn 2. But this turn 2 is probably not lining up to be super powerful because the 4 Seal Stone is prized. Otherwise, there's like the potential for like Luminion for. I guess it still could be decent actually though. We definitely need to see a second Charmander get grabbed here, so it's got to be like Charmander Pidgey off this. Often, if not Charmander Bib, I guess would be fine, but definitely need a second Charmander. Yeah, with the 4 Seal Stone being prized though, you don't have the potential. The current hand I don't think has Candy Pidgey, Candy Zard. It does have Candy Zard with the oh, they're actually lining up the Cleffa here. So you go Cleffa Pidgey, and maybe there's an energy to retreat. I assume there must be an energy to retreat here. It's the only reason to like take Cleffa, right? There's also like a lot of cards in hands that can't be played though. There's the energy, but the hand is like pretty packed with dead cards. How many are we actually gonna get to draw with this Cleffa here? Super Rod for 1? Alright, Super Rod for 1. I mean, if second Super Rod's in the deck to recover energy is probably fine. You can play the TM Devo as well, just to get out of the hand. So we're going to draw like, what, 2 or 3 cards here? Yeah, it's probably worth it. Yeah, attach a TM Devo. And then draw 3. Sounds good. There we go. Just needs one piece to get the Candy Pidgey Candy Zard. There's a potential for like double turbo boss on the Charmander here. But it looks like it might just be a Read the Wind. Which just feels really, really slow with no Minccino in play. So you can't even like threaten the 1-hit KO on a Charizard next turn with a Cinccino. There might be a Minccino in hand. But yeah, the lack of Minccino here is just, it's tough. Looks like the Read the Wind. We want a Minccino here though for sure. Is there a Minccino? No Minccino? That's not good. Read the Wind. Yeah, our Lugia getting punched before we even get to attack with it is not good. Especially if we don't have the follow-up of a 1-hit KO of our own. Alright. We do have Candy Zard for sure. But only Candy Zard isn't very good. Honestly, this might be another Cleffa turn. Like Poffin here for Charmander Bidoof. Yeah, we could just get Mander Doof. And maybe you play the Iono though. Maybe go Mander Doof Iono. Because you could Luminion for Candy, but then that's all you have. You go Luminion for Arven for Candy, Candy Charizard, and then you swing, and then your hand only like your hand does have an Iono for next turn. I guess maybe that is fine to be honest. You do have an Iono for next turn, so you're not in a terrible spot. But you also don't need to be aggressive here. You just kind of want to, I guess. We'll see what they choose to go with. He's going to go with the Iono. Do you think the focus on Cinccino and Lugia just makes it too inconsistent? Not saying it's a bad attacker, just energy intensive, another stage 1. It adds like another level of inconsistency for sure. It definitely adds like another level of inconsistency because like it is so energy intensive. So it's like you need so much, and like it makes your like Lugia in the past has had potential like things where you like lose games because you end up with too many energy in the discard pile. But it's like amplified with the Cinccino build for sure. Definitely amplified with the Cinccino build. Evolve the wrong one. Doesn't really matter. It wouldn't have actually affected the game, I don't think, at all. But yeah, they did catch it. Yeah, it is definitely like amplified a little bit because that was never like a huge problem with Lugia decks where it's like, oh my gosh, I've ran out of energy. Like sometimes that would happen, but not that often. But with the Cinccino build, it happens way more often for sure. I actually don't like that energy attachment to the Charmander there. Because if you draw into energy, you'd want to be able to attach those out of hand. Attaching to the Charmander there in your hand before you Iono is definitely a mistake. All right, so this does give this turn over to Murillo. Tails. Had Great Ball though. Should we have checked Great Ball first? How do you actually sequence that? Is that correct? No, this is correct, right? Because now you like go get a Minccino, and now your Great Ball has a higher chance of hitting Archeops. This always makes sense to do it this way, I guess. Yeah. Does have a Great Ball in hand and an Ultra Ball. So if Great Ball hits Archeops, we can finally attack and get our Archeops set up, and actually put some energy on a Minccino as well. But we do want to get down double Minccino if possible. If not, we're just hoping the one doesn't get gusted. 5, 6. The Lugia V-Star. Jeez. There's a lot of energy in the hand as well again. And a Luminion. But you really don't want to put Luminion in play. Luminion is like free prize cards. This is not looking great. Again, not looking great. But you could go Ultra Ball and then Luminion for research, I guess. And then that would get you the double chops. Oh, you also just don't have to do anything this turn, to be honest. You could just swing with Lugia, right, and take the knockout. That's also fine. That actually is maybe just the play. Maybe you should just punch with Lugia here. I guess they could have Charizard, Candy Zard, Choice Belt, Radzard. See, this is once again so much energy. I mean, it's not that, but it's 2 energy in the discard pile. It's not that many energy. It's more than you want. Or is it 3 energy? This is an Archeops and a research, right? Okay. Definitely want another Minccino if possible. It's a heads. That means your lone Minccino could get Gust KO'd, which is what you're trying to avoid. Another one. Minccino? The one time you don't want heads. Usually you want heads on aromas because you're finding Archeops. This is not what we're looking for. Searches out of chops. And then I guess you don't have to put... No, you do. You should put Archeops in play here, right? Well, actually, you don't have to. You could just wait, right? There's no reason to put Archeops in play here. Unless you're building up energy on 2 Mincinos. But because your only Minccino in play could die anyways, I think you should just chill. And just knock out. There's no reason to use Summoning Star yet, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, there's no reason to use Summoning Star. Yeah, but I don't think we should use the Summoning Star here. I think it's incorrect, actually. Because, like, the plan is always to Gust KO the Minccino, the lone Minccino in play. But now, your lone Minccino gets Gust KO'd, and you lose 2 energy. So that never makes any sense, right? Yeah, that never makes any sense. Because the play is still the same. You should just chill. Yeah, I don't like this play. No reason to put the Archeops in play. Not that I can think of anyways. Not that I can think of. Oh, I guess you could get blown up by Radzard, right? That'd be the only play. I did mention that, yeah. All right, the one play was getting blown up by Radzard. Because they could have Zard, Candy Zard. Or even just Zard plus attach, I guess. Maybe it's not even that unlikely. Maybe it is correct to play around it. I don't know. That's a decent amount, right? Maybe it's a decent amount. I don't know if I would play around it, to be honest. I'd maybe just let them have it if they have it. You just give it to them if they got it. This is gonna be a pretty. This is gonna be pretty tough to come back from on that with the KO on the Minccino. Candy Zard boss is kind of unlikely. I don't know. Not really. They have a Charmeleon in play. They don't even need Candy Zard. They just need Zard counter catcher, Zard prime catcher, Zard boss. Like, they need so little here. You're always getting your Minccino's always getting Gust KO'd here. If it's not, that's kind of wild, to be honest. Even if there wasn't a melon, getting the candy wouldn't have been that difficult either. With how much they've gone through their deck at this point, they progressed a decent amount. But now the matchup gets really now we need double Minccino again. See, now you need to get double Minccino again for Murillo, and then you need to load up energy on both Mincinos, and then another Minccino that has energy on it gets Gust KO'd. You Ultra Balled away 2 energy. You're about to lose 2 energy. And then you're going to lose 2 more energy by the next Minccino getting KO'd. This game is, I think, pretty much over, to be honest. This would be a really tough game to come back from. The only saving grace I see here is that there's no energy in the deck. Oh, there's one. God damn it. I'm sure they checked on the initial search. The only potential saving grace was no energy in the deck. But there was 1 energy in the deck. Right there, they could have whiffed an attack. That would have been maybe enough time for the Lugia player to get back into it. But now we go counter catcher. Goodbye, Rat. And we have boss in the hand for next turn to chase the next Rat. Looking like it's Raps for these Rats. Yeah, the price trade even could be now like KO Minccino, KO Luminion, KO Lugia with Radzard. Although the Radzard's in the last 2, so I guess that probably won't happen. All right. Here we go. Master Ball top deck. That is helpful. We do need to find some Rats. Well, I guess in this situation you don't need... Huh. Because you are 2-hit KOing this Charizard, right? This Charizard is getting 2-hit KO'd. No, but you still need to load up energy in play because otherwise your Archeops just get chased, right? Yeah, you still need to load up energy on your Minccino so your Archeops just get chased. So yeah, you still have to do it. You still have to go Minccino. And you put, what, 2 on each Minccino, I guess? Off both Archeops? Or maybe attach 1 from hand, 2 on 1, 1 on the other or something. Just put 2 on each of them, but probably start to move energy out of hand. Is probably the play here. Has Iono. We should definitely thin out the deck of energy before we play this Iono. We should definitely use both Archeops, 2 on each Minccino, then play the Iono. I don't think we want to draw into energy here. Well, we just don't want to draw into too many energy here, because there's such a high chance that we draw into some energy. We don't want to draw into too many energy. Or you could chill and hope they devo your Archeops. Bro, that, I mean, we definitely need to use the Archeops before they get devoed. That's like another thing, is that we know that, how do you say their name? We know the Charizard player. We know he's got TM Devo. So we also have to use our Archeops before they get TM Devoed. Then we get no energy. Did we just Chops fail? Dude. What? We gotta put some energy in play here. What if they Devo the Lumman? Goes to Baby Luminion? That'd be interesting. What does Baby Luminion do? I forget what that card does. You have to get out of your sideboard. Okay, so now the Charizard player can just boss KO the Archeops and the game's over. Yeah, you just boss KO Archeops and now the game ends. There's no potential for to want to KO the next Charizard or probably even the Pidgeot. Well, there's still potential to KO the Pidgeot, but we definitely need to load up more energy in play here. Oh, is that the counter to Devoing the Chops? Is you put the Luminion in place, so then they also have to Devo the Luminion, and then you go to the Devo to the Baby Luminion, and then you win. Yeah, so now you just go boss Archeops, I think. You could KO the Minccino with no, you always boss the Archeops. You always boss the Archeops. Go get B-Barrel, boss Archeops, game over. The game basically ends at that point, I'm pretty sure. It'd be really tough to win at that point. Devo always the correct line. Yeah, it might be prize though. Oh no, we got discarded on turn 1 though. They forgot about how good Devo was in this matchup. They discarded turn 1. Coffin. What do we even get here? Another Charmander? Sure, why not? Or Pidgey, sure. Honestly, the Pidgey might be better just to have the potential of in case your Pidgeot gets chased, right? This is probably better. And then, like I said, oh, we don't have a boss in hand right now. Oh, we got Iono'd last turn, actually. We might not. Oh, no, we have Quick Search. What am I saying? We have Quick Search. Yeah, we're going to find boss, though. Better to get it off B-Barrel, obviously, so. We need to find, like, the second Super Rod ideally at some point as well. I guess, like, Turo Charizard wouldn't be terrible here, but that's a lot of energy to lose. I don't know if we want to lose that energy. I feel like just Gus KOing the Minccino is just better here. Because can't we go, like, Gus KO Minccino? Oof, maybe you could go Prime Catcher now and push up the fresh Zard, actually, and then make Murillo, like, work to KO this Charizard. There's no energy? Or did Murillo, they didn't take any energy? I think there's one in there still. Actually, we might need to save our Prime Catcher to make sure we can move our B-Barrel. Oh, no, we have Turos left still. We have Turo left still. Doing a quick energy count. 3, 4. Oh, there's 4 gone. Oh, that's right. There's 4 gone, yeah. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. Energy in hand, okay. So then I kind of, there's also Turo in hand. So I kind of like Prime Catcher, push up the fresh Charizard, Prime Catcher KO Archeops. Because the Minccino can't knock you out. So I kind of like Prime Catcher KO the Archeops here. Yep, they went for it. I don't know about I don't like the Turo, though, I don't think. That's a lot of resources. I'm not sure about this Turo play, to be honest. You don't get the energy. That's the big part. If the second Super Rod's in the deck, they probably have enough energy to win the game, but okay, they go after the Chops. So this Minccino could KO the Pidgeot, though. But I don't know, does that even lead to anything? Then you just get KO'd back by Charizard. The biggest thing at this point, is there the second Super Rod prized? I don't think there is. If the second Super Rod is prized, it's definitely a mistake. And if you possibly don't find it, then you could just lose. All right, the Minccino's up. Wait, but it can't even one-hit KO. Oh, no, but we're going to go for the... Oh, top right boss. We can KO the Pidgeot here, I guess. But even then, we're down at Archeops, so... Does it really matter? I don't know. See, this is why we should have loaded up energy on the last turn onto... Like, 2 energy on one Minccino, 1 energy on the other one. Or something. So just something more. We're retreating! We're losing more energy, bro. We can't afford this. We can't afford this right now. Put it back, bro. Why do we even send up the rat? You can't do that. All right, the second Super Rod is not prized. It is in the deck. Bro, that was... You can't do that. That's way too costly. We cannot afford this. This game is just over. The game is over. There's no way there's enough energy to win the game anymore at this point. You have to draw... How are you drawing 5 more prize cards? Well, this turn, I guess we can boss B-Barrel, but then we have to get around Radzard at some point as well. Oh, they're just going for the punch. Okay. So now the Charizard player just goes... Well, honestly, a boss KO Archeops. You just boss KO Archeops. You barrel first? Oh, quick searching first. Okay. There's the boss. We do it. There's no way you don't boss here. Boss the honestly, boss the Minccino might be better, actually. Actually, I honestly don't know which one's better, boss Minccino or boss Chops. They're both really brutal. I think you win with both plays. I don't actually know which one is better. Can't win the Chops is probably better. Because then if you somehow get their Pal Patterns and then boss again on the Cinccino, you just win. They're going for the Cinccino. All right, they went for the Chops. Okay, I think the Chops is the better play. Plot twist, he bosses Luminian. Honestly, you probably still win in that scenario, to be honest. Maybe as a damage sleeved or a rip sleeved or something. Using quick search before P-Barrel was probably trolling as well. Unless you knew there were some cards on the bottom of the deck from an Iono, I guess. I wasn't really paying attention to that. The cards we're looking for right now is Pal Pad to recover bosses and Super Rod, so we can actually have energy to still continue to attack. What do you got off the prize cards? And energy. Energy solid. All right. Not very much squad left here. We somehow need to draw 5 prize cards. Okay, so the Lugia can KO the Charizard. Then Charizard with Defiance Band KOs our Lugia. And then our Cinccino cannot KO the Charizard and we lose. So I guess that's just game on board, to be honest. So this should just be game here. Pidgeot gets Super Rod. Super Rod recovers energy. Evolve to Charizard. And then we're just a boss away from KO and Luminian. Or if you just KO the rat next turn, there's no way that they ever make the comeback, so... Oh, they even have the candy as well. All right. 2 there. Leaves 1 in the deck. Honestly, they probably should have just taken 1. They should have just taken 1 and then attached from hand, probably, to be honest. There's a choice belt. That works. 3+ choice. Defiance belt. What about... And there's just a concede. I mean, they don't just win, but they basically just win. There's no way to come back from that. Treat others the way you want to be treated? Yeah, something like that. Yo, we got Vinny. Ooh, the Manaphy start's not great. That's a bench clogger right there. It might not be as Pathro. There's definitely Bonnet. Pool? Yeah, I got you at the pool. All right. I don't have you with it because I have to reconnect my thing, so give me 1 second. All right. There we go. Predictions are up. On the left, we got Vinny Fernandez, one of the best players in the game, playing Xatu, Espathra, Psychic Box. There might not actually be Espathra in here. We just know that there's Bonnet, Shuppet, and Xatu. Open the Manaphy, which is not a great start, and has a pretty slow start overall. Ideally, in this game, I think in this matchup, you want like turn 2 Bonnet to stop the potential of fighting Charmeleon. I'm pretty sure is how you tackle this matchup, and then you go into Espathras. Maybe you just get aggressive with Espathras. I actually just don't know, to be honest. Versus Carlos. Carlos is rocking good old Charizard. Nothing super crazy here. Open the Cleffa, which is a really good starter. And we see an Arven being found here off Luminian to get Nest Ball and for Sealstone. Although the Nest Ball is weird if we have Cleffa in the active. I would think you'd want a Poffin. Are they going to get Rotom? We have Cleffa in our active. Wait, this got to be trolling, right? We have that many cards in our hand that no, we have a choice spell and we could have played so many. What are we doing? Whoa, what is going on? What? Carlos with the throw off the rip, bro. This makes no sense. We have a Force Seal, so yeah, Carlos just went on full autopilot there. That is like some full autopilot there. There's no way this ever makes sense. Are they first? No, this is turn 2. Luminiant for Arvin to go Arvin for Nestball for Sealstone with Cleffa in the active to get Rotom when we could have just thrown a Choice Belt down, thrown the Force Sealstone down, got a Poffin instead of a Nestball, and got another Charmander and maybe the B-Barrel. All right, Xatu draw off the rip here from Vinny. Did find a Poffin. Also found a Capturing Aroma. Not sure if that's a heads or tails. We'll see what Vinny grabs here. And I'm curious to see what Vinny goes with to be aggressive here. What is that? The Cleffa. So going for some setup here. Also has that Poffin. I assume we're going to see a couple Espathras, would be my guess. Or Flittles, excuse me. I assume a couple of Flittles are going to get grabbed here. Oh, is lining up a Shuppet, actually. Oh, but no, it's just doing prize checking here. I saw a Rigid Band, or Rigid Belt, whatever that thing is called. Bro thought the Espathra was already active and he couldn't attack. He's just thinking far ahead. Obviously a genius. Yeah, Carlos is in the future right now. And there's an Espathra in the active. Therefore, the Cleffa can't attack because of the Espathra's ability. And there was no fire energy in the hand until it was drawn off the Rotom. That's some big brain stuff right there. But yeah, definitely a fumble there, a blunder there from Carlos. Should have gone with like Force Sealstone fine was fine. The Nest Ball should just be a Poffin, second Charmander, and a Bidoof if the Bidoof's in the deck. If Carlos plays the B-Barrel line, which I assume almost everyone is playing the B-Barrel at this point, and then just draw 2 or 3 cards with the Cleffa there. There was a miss though. That is true. There was a mist in hand as well, which also could have been put in play to draw more cards with Cleffa. I don't know where you'd put the mist, but could have been put somewhere. Not today, Panda. All right. There's the Flittle squad. And then I assume it's just going to be a Retreat Manaphy, use Cleffa, draw some cards. Final prize check in here of the Psychic Energy. I'm curious to see how this goes, though. I actually don't know if this is a good matchup or a bad matchup or... Yeah, I don't know. The biggest thing with this matchup for me is like Radzard is super effective in the late game at KOing Pokemon. But I don't know if it's enough. We'll see. What's your favorite out of meta decks? Would you ever take to a regional? I don't know. I don't know if there's anything else can be played just by the Attach Retreat, besides just the Attach Retreat. Does have a Hero's Cape in the hand, but probably wants to hold on to that. Like I mentioned, there was a Rigid Band. Oh, maybe wants that extra card, though. Is maybe going to play it. That's a tanky Flittle right there. That thing literally tripled in size, or quadrupled in size. Going for it. Oh. Onto the Xatu to play around boss KO on the Xatu. So playing around the Candy Charizard boss on Xatu. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Of course, Vacuum could get involved as well, but that's like another piece that I would have to find. Prime Catcher in Carlos's hand. That is a Maximum Belt, actually. So not playing the Prime. Does have the A-Spec, but not going to be super effective here. Does have Candy Zard turn 2. We'll see what else they have as well, though, besides that. It is weak to Dark, no. Xatu? Oh, wait, is it weak to Dark? Wait, then that attachment makes no sense, right? There's no way it's weak to Dark, right? Did Vinny throw like that? I don't think it makes any sense to attach it there if it's weak to Dark. Oh, wait, unless you don't want Pidgeot to be able to KO it, I guess, though. Because then you could KO it with Pidgeot. So it forces the Charizard, I guess. So I guess it actually is still probably fine from Vinny. Because you want the Charizard in the active, not a Pidgeot, right? Okay. I guess that makes sense. I don't know if Carlos has the boss play. Charizard is online. Vinny's just too far ahead mentally. Yeah, Carlos and Vinny both playing in the future here. Couldn't attack with Cleffa. The cape on the Xatu. It's insane. It's crazy. Maybe need to look into this as Pathro deck, to be honest. Now, Braden's a pretty good player, but Braden always plays some wacky stuff. There's the boss KO. But if it's also got the the Vinny seal of approval, there might be a little bit more to look at here. That's like... Oh, wait, did Vinny not know? No, Vinny didn't know! Yeah, Vinny didn't know. Vinny was like, oh, I protect my Xatu here. Let's go. Like, Charizard can't kill it. It turns out the whole time, Vinny was just as confused as we were. That's so funny. All right, Super Rod coming in, recovering the bird and an energy. That's pretty funny right there. Oh, thinking about not going for the Xatu? Maybe just wants another energy? I don't even know what the Xatu line is in here. There's a Xatu in hand. There's also a Poffin. I don't think there's any... Ooh, this is actually awkward. There's no draw power in the hand here for Vinny. I mean, maybe you just go by... Maybe you just go Poffin for Cleffa. You could retreat and punch with an Espathra. But then you have no energy for draw power for the Xatu. He's going to go for the punch, but then he's living off the top deck, I believe. This is going to be awkward for Carlos on this next turn, though. This matchup's really interesting because I feel like this matchup is kind of like a resource war. Not on the Espathra side, but like you're trying to run Charizard out of resources, basically. Because like the Charizard can't punch an Espathra. Espathra and then draw with the Cleffa. So it's just going for the setup here. And then it makes sense to attach, I guess, if you're going to draw more cards. So it is giving Carlos that 2-prize lead here. And it's putting Carlos in a spot where Carlos, you know, probably just needs to focus on setting up support Pokemon here. Because the Ionos are going to start hitting here on this next turn. If you don't have Pidgeot set up, you could be in trouble here as Carlos. So definitely want to try and find Candy Pidgeot here for sure. Round 7 with the most popular deck, and we forget about weakness. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and make a guess here that Vinny probably hasn't played that much with this deck. And probably picked it up after like seeing Braden play it maybe a little bit from Orlando, and probably hasn't put that much time in with this deck. But thinks it's good, or tried it enough and is like, okay, I think you have a good Charizard matchup. And if this deck does have a good Charizard matchup, the deck is probably pretty decent. I actually don't know how good its Charizard matchup is. But if it actually does have a good Charizard matchup, that's kind of cool. It makes it pretty good. We do see an Ultra Ball for a Charmander here from Carlos, but does Carlos have anything else? It looks like it might be an Iono. I don't know. That's like a new fuller Iono. I don't know what that one looks like. Is that an Iono? It is. All right. I don't think Vinny's gonna be too mad. Vinny's hand was pretty good though, actually. Yeah. Has an awful Chi and Pao matchup though. Well, that's why you play the Banette, right? Your Chi and Pao matchup's actually fine because you have the Banette. Right? So you just do that. That's your win condition. Banette EX. All right, here's a knockout on the Cleffa. The hard retreat. This can't be correct. Wait. Is that correct? We get the Ember KO. Wait, what happens when they KO our Charmander? Vinny's just going to go KO Charmander, and you have no Charmander. You have no energy. This is not correct. You definitely just take the L. Your Charizard gets smacked. It gets KO'd. There's no way this is correct. There's no way this is correct from Carlos. You're just feeding, like, you're giving Vinny a free turn. Vinny's behind a turn, and now you're giving Vinny a free turn. I can't see that being the correct play here. Let him cook? Nah, he's overcooked now. He's overcooked at this point. They literally just burned 3 energy for Vinny. Now, and also Vinny would have had to... How many energy do you need on an Espathra to KO... how many energy do you need on an Espathra to KO a Charizard? I'm not going to do the math. Someone in chat I know wants to tell me. You appreciate 35 months there, Carrie Potter. And appreciate the Prime sub there. Taught K. Welcome to the Rat Pack. We're all the ceilings. We've got plenty of tails. The aromas are coming in too. Is there no Ultra Ball in this deck? Or is it like 4 aroma, 4 Poffin? 7? No, it's weak to grass. It can't be 7. Four right now. I don't know what Espathra's damage is. 5 between both. Okay, 5 between both. All right, there's the knockout. So Carlos, wait, no, push up Cleffa here. What are we doing? Carlos has to take a turn off now. There's a boss top deck. I don't think that's really leading to anything, though. 4 Aroma, 4 Ultra, and 4 Poffin? That's a lot of Pokemon search. Call for family angle? You can't call for family, though. It might have been, but you can't. Oh, they have Candy Pidgeot. Okay, okay. They do have Candy Pidgeot. It's chill. It's chill. I panicked for a little bit there. But honestly, like, Vinny having Gus chase that Charmander next turn is going to continue to lock Carlos out of plays. Has Iono and Boss in hand. I mean, Boss isn't really that effective here. Yeah, what are you going to do with Boss here? Probably need Rod. They probably, yeah, honestly, if they only have, they've burned 3 energy. Carlos has burned 3 energy at this point. So if there's an energy prize, we can count here. 1, 2. There's 3 in the discard. They play 6. Oh, they play the mist though, right? We saw the mist. Goes for an Arven here. Gets the maximum belt. Honestly, the maximum belt is probably pretty good in this matchup, right? You get to KO the Espathra. Yeah, the maximum belt's actually probably... Does that let you like KO on tempo in this matchup, actually? Espathra draws 1 prize card. How much HP does that thing have? Yeah, actually, the maximum belt is kind of annoying. You definitely want them to be playing Prime Catcher, I would assume. Because the maximum belt literally gets you to 260. That's unlucky. Now, Vinny does play the Hero's Cape and thing. The other card. There's another card that Vinny plays. The Rigid Belt. So it's probably going to be... You could honestly leave Pidgeot in the active and let it take a hit. That wouldn't be terrible. I hope he tries a Candy into Zard so bad. Does Carlos even have 3 energy in deck? I only saw 2. I didn't check for the rest, honestly. I stopped checking. Oh, Vinny dropped some cards. Was it from hand? I assume it was from hand. Hopefully it's from hand. So the game can just continue. Or are they prize cards? It'd be weird if they were prize cards. I wasn't really paying attention when it happened. There was 3 in deck? Okay. So Carlos has to play next turn. You don't need to do it this turn. The question is, do you want to let your Pidgeot take a hit, or do you run to Cleffa and give him a prize card? Retreat to Rotom? No, you can't do that, because then you have to retreat to Rotom. Wait. I guess we could Turo it, plus... We're short a piece right now, though. Do we need to get Turo or Charizard off it? That's pretty good odds. Did we whiff? I think letting the Pidgeot take the hit there is like fine. Our Pidgeot is not dying. Just Cleffa? No, I kind of like the Rotom push and force a ton of energy. But now we need another piece, because Charizard putting 1 on the Rotom and then 2 on your Charizard isn't enough. Boss here for Vinny is pretty good. Boss KO Charmander. Ooh, there might be a boss in hand. I think I see one. You want a heads here. That's a heads. Get a Zatu. We're cooking. We're cooking. Boss KO Mander gives Vinny a ton of time to work with here. Boss? I assume that would be the play, too. I'm actually not 100% sure. Yep, there it is. Boom. Get that Mander. Slap. It's cooked. As Ultra Ball could go set up another Espathra. Doesn't seem to be necessary, but what else are you going to save those cards for? Do you really want to draw into those later off in Iono? Probably not. SKO, Pidgeot up from Carlos. And this is why retreating that initial Charizard was such a bad play from Carlos. Now we're in like a terrible spot. And we are still so far away from actually getting our next attack off. I don't believe Carlos drew for turn. I think that's what Carlos is asking the judge. I believe the answer is no. There was the Ultra Ball top deck. So did have Pidgeot for Turo, pick up the Rotom, Ultra Ball for Charizard, Candy Charizard, but it doesn't matter because the Charmander's dead. So now Carlos has got to go find a Charmander. Here comes an S-Ball. And honestly, now if Vinny could overload an Espathra and KO Rotom, if Rotom can't get pushed... Wait, was it... Dude, what does Espathra do? I'm just going to look up the card. I got to look up this card. 30 plus 30 damage for each energy attached to both active Pokemon. So currently we're doing 90 damage. If we put 4 energy on our bench as Pathra, which isn't possible, we could KO Rotom. I don't know how many boss the deck plays either, which would also be a pretty big part of things as well. Here comes a Super Rod from Carlos. We do need some Charmanders back as well. Oh, we have a Charmander on the bench. We actually didn't need a Super Rod right here. But if there's another boss, we would need to get another Charmander back. I'm getting ahead of it now because we also need energy back as well. I don't hate this from Carlos. Get ahead of it. But literally, this all comes back to that one poor choice from Carlos. When Carlos retreated the Charizard to take the knockout on the Cleffa with the Heat Tackle. It all comes back to that. Yo, appreciate the 513 sub there. Hi, police. Thinking about hitting him with a Gust here, it looks like. To hope to slow down Vinny. But Vinny's got a pretty big hand here. I almost feel like an Iono is maybe the better play to slow down Vinny here. I feel like if you have an Iono here, I don't know if Carlos does have an Iono. I mean, the hand is pretty good, though, for Carlos. I guess that's like another thing, though. Would you move to game 2 at this stage? The other poor choice. Yeah, that's true. We go even further back, Sawyer. That's right. The Rotom does not need to be on the bench here. Should have never been on the bench here. The Rotom shouldn't even be on the bench here. And we would have had room for double Charmander last turn or even the turn before. And then maybe retreating Charizard at that point isn't super unreasonable, to be honest. Yeah. All right. There's just the instant charge for 3. Over to Vinny. Can't really overload any of these. I think the question is really just like boss. It is kind of funny. Vinny did get punished for not Ultra Ball for Espathra last turn by top decking Espathra. Actually is kind of funny that punish happened. Because I think that's what you would have Ultra Balled for last turn from Vinny. Would have been the third Espathra. Didn't do it. And then top decked Espathra. I'm pretty sure that's what I just saw happen, right? Or am I trolling? I might be trolling. Does this deck have a good one prize attacker, though, to like offset the prize trade? You could always just attack with a Xatu, I guess, but it's not as good. And now for Vinny here, do you overload one Espathra? Also, as Vinny here, you could just pass with Xatu in your hand until you find a boss. Goes with the attach active. I mean, I assume that means we're punching the Rotom for a little bit at the very least. What are the League HQs good against? Is that good against anything? Thinking about maybe not putting this last Espathra in play to keep around the pivot of the Flittle. I don't hate that. Nutty versus Ancient. Do you need it versus Ancient, or do you beat Ancient without it, or is it necessary? Already forcing them to have 3 energy sounds pretty good, to be honest, because you're weak to fire. Like, we're not getting 1-hit KO'd anytime soon. Yeah, how do we not just beat Ancient? Does Carlos think Rotom's ability has to be in the active? No. He used it on the bench turn 1. All right, so we're going with the heavier hit here from Vinny. Could have hit with conserved in energy and hit for 90. Also, this Iono was pretty disruptive to Carlos as well, right? No pivot setup now, though, for Vinny as well. Maybe hands, yeah, I don't know. Lost Zone? Yeah, I guess Lost Zone. Going for the split on the energy. I feel like we want 3 on another one, though, right? Oh, no, because the Charizard's going to have 3 energy to KO us, so this is fine, yeah. Here we go, hit for 120. Not a KO. I think Vinny would have loved the knockout here. If Vinny could have got a KO here, I think Vinny just wins and Carlos should just scoop. But it's a little bit hard. When the Rotom has 0 energy, it's hard for the Espathros to actually take knockouts, to be honest. League HQ puts Radzard back a turn. That's true. All right, quick search coming in from Carlos. Needs a lot here, though. Because not only does for Carlos to knock out the active here, Carlos needs to move the Rotom and have 3 energy on the Charizard. The only other thing that Carlos could do here would be to KO a 1-prizer, but putting KO in a 1-prizer here is also terrible because it puts you on odd prize cards. Yeah, they're just like not... Oh, the switch is in hand, though. I see that switch. Okay, maybe it's going to be possible. I was like, you need a lot here as Carlos. Oh, also, you need the maximum belt. Well, I guess if you have Charizard in hand, then maybe you just have it, to be honest. Because you can get Arvim. Goes for an Iono, though, so doesn't have it. Switch into the Pidgeot. Quick search is used. Oh my gosh, that hand was terrible. Yo, wait, does TM Devo go hard in this matchup? You can, like, Ember poke 30s on the... What are they called? Espathras? You can Ember poke them and then TM Devo them. They have 30 HP. There's got to be something cool we can do with that. All right, draw from Carlos. I doubt it was going to be the combo because you need Candy, Zard, 3 fires in the deck, which I think we have the 3 fires, and the maximum belt. Whiffs, but once again, the Espathra deck is pretty limited into what it can actually do here, right? Like, leave the Pidgeot in the active. Don't give Vinny a prize card. I don't think we should give Vinny a prize card here. I'd recommend against this. Just let him punch the Pidgeot. He ain't gonna kill it. Pushes the Cleffa. Can draw 3 with Cleffa. Oh no, you can't draw 3 with Cleffa because of the... You can't. Poke League HQ. Alright, doesn't matter. Oh, even Poke League HQ. It also the Espathra. It needs 2 energy, bro. You need a double turbo on that Cleffa for it to draw cards. That's crazy. Vinny would love a boss here once again to KO the Rotom, I think. We're starting to draw. The goal here from Vinny has to be Rotom, I'm sure. Overloaded to 4. There's the boss. Wait, but goes for the Charmander. That's just as good. Well... That is just as good, though, right? This does the exact same thing. I was like, wait a second. Do we want 2 prize cards? Does having a second prize card matter that much? And I don't think it does. I think the 1 prize card here is fine. This still sets us up pretty good here as Vinny. This is still fine, I think. Can't win the Rotom. No, I guess if we do KO Rotom, that does allow Carlos to attack with Radzard this turn. And then attack with Radzard again, potentially. So this is definitely the better play right here. Bench locking out of the Radzard play. I feel like that's got to be the better play then, actually. Either way, I think you would have been in a pretty good spot for all the resources that Carlos is down. Especially with like the League HQ in play, plus the ability. Radzard would still need... Wait, how many energy would Radzard need to KO an Espathra if the League HQ isn't bumped? -3, 2, 4? It would still need 4 energies. That's crazy. You wouldn't even be able to get there. And even if you got there, it would get KO'd, and then Carlos probably couldn't recover it and actually attack again. Is it just quick search for a fire? So we're going to go attach fire to Charizard and pass with Pidgeot in the active, I guess. But see, now this is the situation I was thinking of, though. Vinny can't draw a prize card guaranteed unless Vinny finds another boss. I don't know how many boss Vinny plays. Just 3. League only affects basics. No, that's what I was saying with the Radzard. For Radzard to attack this turn, it needs 4, right? I thought the Radzard interaction with League HQ and Espathra doesn't matter. No, it does. Because Radzard reduces its energy cost by 1. Radzard reduces its attack by... Radzard reduces its attack by 1 for each... prize card your opponent's taken, but Espathra increases it by 1, and so does League HQ. So it's at 7 -3. You need 4. Picks up Luminion just to get a liability out of play. I guess it does open up the bench space for the Radzard, and I guess you want to draw 3 with Rotom. You could have picked up the Rotom though, maybe instead. It depends on how good the hand is, of course. Forgot to draw 3 with Rotom and just passed. Definitely should have drawn 3 with Rotom. And yeah, I just realized right there. Carlos realized right there. I didn't draw 3. All right, if Vinny has another boss here, the game is definitely over. There's a Rigid Band, which at this point I think isn't going to... Actually, 3 prize cards. Maximum belt still gets around it, I guess. A lot of cards in hand for Carlos. Probably want to Iono here if you are Vinny. Dude, actually, this matchup is crazy because this matchup still is like winnable for Carlos. Once again, this kind of goes back. I think Vinny should have gone for a 2 prize KO there and shouldn't have gone for the Charmander. Should have gone Gust KO Rotom and gone more aggressive on the prize exchange. Because now Vinny doesn't have a KO this turn, and now Carlos can go KO 2 prizer, KO 2 prizer. Both plays seemed fine, but now that I'm seeing how this is playing out, I don't love the choice there from Vinny to play it like that. Vinny could retreat. I guess it's like a thing. Just gonna go with the punch. Here comes a draw from Carlos. There's a collapse Stadium. That gets rid of the League HQ, which will be pretty big later to be able to attack with Radzard. Has 2 energy in hand, so can attack with Charizard this turn. You can go quick search for Arven, get any item plus the maximum belt, knock out the active with the maximum belt. Do you need the maximum belt? 3, 270? I guess you do, yeah. That works, though. And you can collapse away your Rotom to remove that as a liability. I don't know if that matters, but... Carlos has come back into this by manually attaching to Charizard 3 times. comes to quick search, we do need vacuum or max. So we should go for Arvin here if there's any left. I think I just saw one in the front. To get like, I don't know, super odd or rare candy or just something to lead towards like the play on our next turn. Design up the maximum, that's the correct take. I missed the start. Did Carlos retreat the Czar and just stalled sense? Basically. But I think Vinny did mess up. Vinny did mess up by not just being more aggressive. That just seems good for the Zard. I don't know. Vinny had a slow start. Carlos was able to get away with 2 prize cards early before Vinny did anything, despite Vinny going first. And then Vinny, I think, made the mistake. Yeah, I think Vinny misplayed by not carrying the Rotom in that middle of the game there when the Charizard wasn't that likely. I don't want to say for sure. I've never played the matchup before. I've never even watched this matchup before. But I could see it being favored for... I could see it being fine for... Maybe not favored, but fine, I guess. Maybe like 50-50. Definitely need to knock out Rotom. Yeah, I think so. I think knock out the Rotom was definitely a big deal. Wait, did he not attach the maximum belt? Dude, wait, he didn't get maximum belt? What did he get off the quick search? What did he get off the quick search? No, bro. All right, now the game is over. All right, Carlos, pick up your cards. That's one too many misplays. That's one too many misplays. You got to pick them up now. I just he was eyeing up the maximum belt, wasn't he? So I just assumed he took it. Then I was reading chat, and then I look back, and there's no maximum belt on that thing. Strong suspect Carlson never played this matchup. Oh yeah, of course. But like, there's like that is true, probably. But you just have to read the Carlson needs to like slow down and just read the cards. Carlos apparently didn't know what Rigid Band did. Whenever you don't know what a card does, you pick it up and you read it. Or in this case, it looks like Carlos, whatever language of Rigid Band Vinny has, Carlos doesn't read or doesn't understand that language. Which is fine, but then you pick it up and you ask for a translation. Like, there's no excuses here for this mistake. There's literally no excuses. Dude, he literally picked up the card and read it. I think he picked it up and realized it was a different language and didn't even read it. I think that's literally what happened. Because then he picked it up again and had the judge translate it for him, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he just had the judge translate it for him. So he picked it up, saw it was in a different language he couldn't read, I think, and then was like, whatever. Just this thing can't stop a Charizard, bro. There's no way. Everyone would be playing this card if this beat Charizard. This is the first time I've seen this card. This definitely doesn't beat Charizard. But now this game should just be over at this point. There's an Iono, a little bit of disruption to close it out. But yeah, Vinny's going to draw 2 here, go down to 1. And the biggest passer on the bench should have plenty to clean this up here. So researching a Psychic off the prize card. Psychic is probably the most important thing. There's also another one in hand, so something getting stuck in the active is never a big deal. And the hand from Carlos, it has Candy Charizard, but that shouldn't matter at this point. I mean, Radzard currently can't attack, right? Because it takes, was it 7 minus 5 takes 2? No, Radzard can attack with Charizard charging it up. I take it back. Stadium only works on basics? Yes, Stadium only does work on basics. The Radzard does need 2 energy here to be attack. Max Belt Delphox Catcher cleans this up. But it doesn't, because of the Espathra's abilities and the whatever that stadium's called. HQ. Yeah, Vinny is definitely winning this one at this point. This one is too far gone. And this game has taken so long now that I don't think there's going to be enough time for Carlos to win game 2 potentially. We're 31 minutes in, 19 minutes left. I don't even think Carlos realizes that game is just on board here for Vinny as well. Yeah, I don't think he realizes it's just a game on board. Radzard needs 3. Are we stalling here as Carlos? Counter catcher pass. What is the play here? Is it actually possible for him to stall this out? Not like stall, but like you bring up this Xatu. Can Vinny KO anything this turn? Oh wait, the TM Devo play. Wait, is that a thing? No, it doesn't feel like a thing. It's exciting, but I don't think it's a thing, right? It is a thing, but like it's not gonna do anything. Is it? I don't think this leads to anything, right? Vinny is currently hitting for 120. No, 150 with these as Pathras. Has 2 energy in hand, so can KO the Pidgeot here. With just going attach active, attach bench with a Xatu. The Team Devo does not work on the Radzard here. Wait, does it? No, it does. No, it does. No, it does. No, it does. Because you reduce the cost by... Yeah, it does. It does do it. It does do it. You do Devo for free here. At first, I thought it didn't because of the League HQ, but the ability applies, so... All right, little guy dies. Actually... Wait. There's only 2 energy in the hand here for Vinny. 5. Oh, no, you only need 5. You only need 5. I thought we needed 6. I got excited there for a second. Yeah, I thought we needed 6. I kind of got excited. Damn. There's a knockout. Okay. That would have been sick, though, if that was the comeback from Carlos, if Vinny was just 1 energy short the whole time. But it is 30 plus. All right, game 2, 17 minutes left. Carlos has got to play like the wind. Definitely way faster than he played in this game. Carlos has gotta speed it up. Gotta speed it up. How do you Devo? He still needs the fire energy? No, Devo costs 1 colorless energy to attack. Or to use Devo costs 1 colorless energy, and Radiant Charizard's ability reduces attacks it has access to, including something like a technical machine. So Devo costs 0 to use there. This matchup is like 80-20 for Zard, unless your brain is just in the lost city of Atlantis. Honestly, it's probably a good idea to go for the 1-0 there as Carlos. This is not super unreasonable. To just like, I guess at that point as Carlos, you play for the low percent win condition, right? I don't hate it, I guess. This matchup is definitely interesting for sure. The Devo can let you do some weird stuff. I don't know if how are you ever setting up that little poke damage that I was like talking about? Maybe it doesn't really matter. Yeah, how are you ever setting up that little poke damage? That you almost never setting that up, right? I'm new to Pokemon coming from Magic. How does draws work? It's just a tie. So wins are worth 3 points, ties are worth 1 point. It's the same thing in Magic, right? Isn't it? Isn't it wins worth 3, ties worth 1? Prize cards. The Cleffa's prized and 2 Poffin, so setup might be difficult here for Vinny. And no Cleffa for that early game consistency. Let's see what Carlos chose, first or second. Chose second, and we got the Shuppet start. Oh, this is going to slow things down a ton here. Unless Carlos can find the early Charmeleon. If Carlos finds the early Charmeleon, Carlos is fine, but... Goes for the Spiritomb as well. Just trying to lock up Carlos off the rip. Going to look for the item lock plus the V ability lock early on here. Did I see Lorcana's Regional Atlanta is best of 2? Yeah, I've heard that Lorcana's best of 2. Attach to the Shup. Might bench the second Shup. Might just hold it. Is going to bench it. 2 is Pather on hand. But the deck does play 2 Super, so not too scary. All right, pretty good hand here, though, from Carlos. I think there's an Arvin, Double Poffin, Ultra Ball. Can get the Cleffa in the active to draw some cards. And then get the 4 Seal Stone down on a Luminion or Rotom to help find the Charmeleon next turn. Could also just Ultra Ball for the Charmeleon and hold it, but then you risk it getting Iono'd away. So in this situation, even though Spiritomb shuts off Rotom, I think you want to bench Rotom and put the 4 Seal Stone on it. So even if you get Iono, you can find Charmeleon. Like, finding Charmeleon is the most important thing here. So you could Poffin for Cleffa Pidgey, Nest Ball for Rotom, 4 Steel Stone to Rotom, retreat to Cleffa, draw with Cleffa, Next turn, Forest Sealstone, get Charmeleon, evolve Charmander to Charmeleon. You do still want like another Charmander in play as soon as possible, but yeah, establishing the Forest Sealstone is super important. So that way you can just get to the Char, especially with how much time is left for Carlos to win this game. Gotta be fast. So Carlos plays it though. I think there was an Arven in hand. There might not have been an Arven in hand. It was for a Pidgey off the nest ball. Like I said, you want to see the Rotom there, I think. Is there an Arven in the hand? Oh, it's a boss. Okay, my bad. Was not an Arven. He's going to play I was thinking about playing the Ultra Ball here as well, though. Honestly, I still like putting Rotom in play, though. Because you can still, like, draw into Arven off Cleffa, get the Forest Sealstone for it. You still want to put the Rotom in play, I think, here. As Carlos. For sure. Now, I don't know if Carlos knows that item lock's on the way. So that's another thing here. I don't know if Carlos knows that item lock is on the way here. Attach retreat. Once again, still want to see this Rotom get benched here while we can find it. I don't hate the Maximum Belt coming into play here. Just draw 3. Also, I would like to see the boss happen as well. Drew into the Forest Sealstone here. Vinny doesn't have it yet, though. Vinny does not have the Banette yet, but there's a good chance of drawing off this research. Banette or Ultra Ball. It's a whiff. The hand sucks, too. The hand is just terrible. But hold on. We can still get the item lock on the... What's the name of the attack? I don't remember. Elusive Shadows? Yeah, we still have a 50-50 here for Vinny to lock it up. Sheesh. That hand does suck. If it's a Tails here, I'm pretty sure this game is just over. Because there's a Candy Charizard in hand for Carlos. There's the Tails. All right. Over to Carlos. Has Candy Charizard in hand. Does not get punished for not trying to establish that Rotom here to play a little bit more heavily into the... Because honestly, if you look at this hand, if item lock happened from Vinny last turn, the hand sucks here from Carlos. It's awful. We had the Forest Sealstone. We had the Arven to find the Forest Sealstone if we didn't get the Forest Sealstone. But there was no thing to put it on, so there was no way to find... there was no way to find the thing that I can't think of that is a thing, that it was a thing that you would need. Charmeleon. Delphox time? Wait, does Carlos play Delphox? Have we seen a Delphox? I wonder at what point does Vinny scoop? Or does Vinny feel like this game, even with this really bad start from him, plus his aggressive start from Carlos, does Vinny still feel like there's a chance here? I don't feel like there's a chance here. Because now Quick Search is coming into play too. All Carlos has to do is go swing, 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 swing. Pidgeot's out. Like right here is where I think I would scoop as Vinny. As soon as you see Candy Charizard, Candy Pidgeot, how are you ever making a comeback? I don't think it's possible. Well, is it? I don't know. If you start to set up Espathras, maybe it is still possible actually. Because I really don't know the potential of the Espathra deck, to be honest. It actually might be possible for Vinny to still win. Just, you still eventually, like maybe next turn you find a Poffin, item lock with Shuppet, get into some Espathras on the next turn, and maybe you're fine. Maybe it is fine, actually. All right, maybe I wouldn't write it off yet as Vinny, to be honest. Because it is so unlikely that Game 3 finishes anyway here as Vinny. You may as well play this one out and try and win. I think it's pretty unlikely that, like I think you need to win here, though, as Vinny. Or, like, run Carlos out of resources or something. Back in with Quick Search. I don't even know what you grab here, to be honest. Maybe Charmeleon. But I'm not sure. And there's a Charmeleon grab. I mean, that seems reasonable to me. I don't even know what else you'd need to set up for. There's basically nothing set up here for Vinny. Yep, there's that first knockout. 5 more to go. 9 minutes left, +3. Immediately, Iono from Vinny. And Vinny's not messing around either. Trying to find some Poffins. All right. I like it. I think, I don't think, like, I think, there was no chance to ever, like, I think Carlos was always winning this match. I like this scoop from here from Vinny. Prize cards were bad. I am curious if Vinny prefers first or second in the matchup, though. I am curious about that. I would assume first, because it's pretty easy to get going with how much Pokemon Search you play, and you need so little to, like, get an Espathra in the active and swing. Turn 2. We might not see a winner here, though. Carlos hasn't been playing like super fast or doesn't seem super pressed about time. Vinny, definitely the more experienced player, has a better understanding of like, all right, if this is gonna end, we need to speed it up. But I don't know. We'll see. And we definitely would have to see a pace of play adjustment from Carlos if this match is gonna finish, I think. Azul is the only way to scoop one of the rare skills ever amongst your average player. Maybe. Because it's like not playing Pokemon, right? Like you play a game of Pokemon, you're like, oh, I played a game of Pokemon. I won or I lost. I could have done this different or that different. But conceding or playing or knowing when to like just play faster. Dude, the Manaphy start is pretty... Oh, it's literally the exact same start from game one. Manaphy Cleffa. The Manaphy start is so bad, though. It's such a bad starter in this matchup. Literally useless. Unless Carlos actually does play the Delphox. Unless Carlos does play Delphox. Here we go. Oh, it was a heads as well. Ugh. I think it was a heads, right? Yeah, there's the die on the table. That's terrible. Definitely want a tails there. We want some basics. Classic tie incoming. It's probably incoming. Did I do the prediction right? Did anyone predict tie in chat? If he plays Delphox, though, he lost on his energy. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's only a good attack if you're, like, winning the game or basically winning the game with it. And I don't think there is a Poffin in the hand here for Vinny. So just grabbing a Xatu and chilling. Yeah, my bet on this one at this point is going to be tie. Vinny can still play for the item lock, though, aggressively. Like, Vinny can attach active and then find Shuppet energy next turn and item lock. That's probably going to be the plan. Oh, there actually is an Ultra Ball in hand here for Vinny. So Vinny can get a basic here. Oh, Vinny can actually still play for the turn 2 item lock here. I can't tell what that EX is in the hand. Is that the Banette? Item lock is actually maybe online here. Oh, goes for the Natu, though. Does not go for the Shuppet. Not going for the item lock is interesting here. Could check super odds. And then checks the energy count one last time. I think there might be no draw power in the hand besides the Xatu, though. So maybe has to go Xatu. Can still go for... Depending on the top deck, Vinny could still pull off the turn 2 Shuppet item lock. 5 minutes left. It's pretty unlikely we get a victor here, I think. In this one. Unless Carlos is dead drawing completely, but it doesn't look like it. It does not look like complete dead draw. Oh, could play the League HQ to stop the Cleffa from drawing cards. Does that matter? Then you shut off your own Shuppet, I guess. Value shutting off the Cleffa more. There's a path. Pass. Ultra Ball for Carlos. I think we're looking at a Luminion grab here, so I don't know why we're discarding 4 Seal Stone. Put that 4 Seal Stone back in your hand right now. There's got to be a worse card then. There's 2 Pidgeot in your hand, so one of those is going. It's actually possible we just get Rotom here, attach 4 Seal Stone, and draw with Rotom because we can't draw with Cleffa, I guess. But Arven off of Luminion would also be decent to get a Poffin, I guess. Gives up Zard. That might be the card that hurt to give up. See, this is where, as Carlos, you usually need to pick a Pokemon and go. This is where you give up on prize checking, is right now. I don't know why Carlos is... Like, Carlos needs to just literally grab whatever Pokemon he thinks is best off Ultra Ball, bench it, and just play the game. The only thing you should be checking that is prized right here is what Pokemon you're getting off your Ultra Ball. Because when you look through your deck and it's not there, you know it's prized, and you have to go pick a different Pokemon. He's playing to tie. Carlos literally can't ever lose. It's impossible for Carlos to lose this game because all Carlos has to do is candy a Pidgeot and leave it in the active, and Vinny can't KO anything. Like, there's no way Vinny ever gets in his path for big enough to KO. Like, you could just set up multiple Pidgeots and just like be like, all right, draw, pass, and then the Espathar's like, all right, 90 damage, and you just win. Our Luminian's coming out, maximum belt, Poffin. Yeah, this one's cooked. That's unfortunate. It would have been nice to see like a second like interesting game between this matchup, to be honest, because the first game was pretty interesting. The first game was pretty interesting. Second game, not so much, and this third game here as well. Vinny, pretty slow start, not great, and not enough time as well. Looking at not enough time in the situation as well, unfortunately. What happened game 2? Game 2, Vinny opened really, really slow and just conceded on like turn 2. I mean, it is still possible for Carlos to win, to be honest, in 2 attacks, I guess. But see if I don't know if Carlos realizes that he can't use Cleffa. Maybe he does realize. Okay, does realize. Okay, cool. If Candy Pidgeot and Force Heal Stone and Handless, there's no reason to do anything but pass. Oh, research top deck here for Vinny. We're moving. There's the research. Gonna look for the Shuppet. All right. Did find the Shuppet play. Actually, no, didn't find the Shuppet play because there's a HQ in play. All right, so the game ends on this. As soon as Vinny found enough Pokemon, the game's basically over. I wonder if Vinny realizes he can't use Shuppet because he's like lining up the Shuppet, but you definitely just don't go Shuppet here. We say stalling time in game 2 for Vinny would have been the right play to win the match. No. Vinny should. I think Carlos was always winning game 2. There was plenty of time left for Carlos to win game 2. You were always losing game 2. So I think it was correct for Vinny to go to game 3. But we see as we get to this game 3, for where we are, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a tie. You appreciate the 4 month sub there, J Smooth. 26. Welcome to the Rat Pack. Welcome back to the pack. Carlos still overthinking, but yeah, it just does not matter at this point. I guess you get the Shuppet just in case here as Vinny, just in case the candies are whiffed, but it just doesn't matter because there's 40 seconds left. Does not matter because there's 40 seconds left. Wait, was that a Manaphy in Carlos's hand? Did Carlos top deck the Manaphy? Quick search for Charmeleon. That doesn't make a ton of sense when you have Candy Charizard, I don't think. Is Carlos playing around the item lock all of a sudden? We have Candy Charizard. The item lock is over. It's done. It's cooked. All right, time is called, and the tie happens.